Hello, my name is Nico Gunnar Lopez. I'm 18 years old. I've been playing Dota 2 for 5 years, and I'm currently around 7,000 MMR.
Okay, so what originally got you into Dota 2? Did you play any Dota 1 at all? I'd assume not.
No, I never played any other MOBA besides Dota. I got into it through TF2 actually. I like traded a hat for a beta key without even knowing what the game was, and I just started playing it with some of my friends, and I got really into it.
So you kind of fell in love with the game.
Yeah, it was like really random because I never even heard of like a MOBA or like the game before.
So what features or aspects about the game really attracted you to it if it was your first one ever, your first MOBA ever?
Uh, I just started playing it, and like I played Age of Empires, the second one, when I was much younger, and it kind of had the same vibe, like of like an RTS, and that kind of like fit the way I like playing the game. And the ability to like constantly improve at the game always feels really nice as a player.
Okay. So what role do you play in the game?
I'm a mid laner.
And has that always been your role?
Yeah, it's basically my role the whole time. There was a couple times where I played position four for a couple months or carry on and off, but mid's like always been my role. I
Okay.
enjoy playing.
So what are your favorite three heroes of all time?
Ember Spirit, Invoker, Shadow Fiend.
Okay. So pretty standard for a mid laner.
Yeah.
So what would you say is your most memorable moment in your Dota 2 career thus far?
Um, Probably either 2016 international or 2016 international when I qualified for regional qualifiers. That was the first time I qualified for regional qualifiers. It was kind of unknown, and it was like really fun to qualify. We beat PPD's team during that, and that was like really good moment for me. And then the other time was like this open qualifiers for TI when I got to play in a team with Kyle and Tomato and Fear, and I had to like fly to Florida to play with them. So that was like a really good experience as well, playing on a team with them.
That's awesome, man. It's very cool. You've had a lot of opportunities. I'm sure you've created those opportunities for yourself, but at the same time, you've had a lot of opportunities that other players haven't, just based on your just how good you are at the game. It's very cool. Um, do you have any peers in this community that have really helped you or mentored you along the way?
Um, there's it's not like any like individual mentors. There's a lot of people like I talk to. Like I've talked to BSJ recently. I've talked to like Sumail about stuff, CCNC. There's a lot of like high MMR players that it's like hard for I think like lower skilled players or like lower known in the community to like have the opportunity to like grow as a player. But once you like get high enough up in the MMR and you're like not a bad person and you become friends with like the other good players, they'll usually like talk to you and you can ask them like different questions because a lot of Dota is about like sharing of knowledge and the ability to like talk to these like better players who have more experience and like playing tournaments and stuff is really good to improve.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. I guess what peers do you expect to see in this league? Um, as far as Dota 2, obviously.
I mean, I think there's gonna be a lot of like the people that you think of. Like I think Samuel is gonna play in it, BSJ is gonna play in it. Like a lot of these like high MMR players that could like get close to always qualifying through regionals are gonna be able to play in this because I think it's very good like, environment. Because normally, unless you're on like a sponsor team, your team won't last like really long together. They usually like make a stack for open qualifiers, regional qualifiers, and then you break up after the qualifiers. And you make a new team for every like major or minor. And I think now that having like a league between tournaments is going to be really good to like keep teams together. So now I think like all these like higher MMR players that just play the game are going to have the ability to like stabilize on a team and like improve as players in a team.
Yeah, and have an opportunity to create some income for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Um, I guess as far as the players go again, who are you? Is there anybody you have like a special rivalry with, like another mid player, or is there anybody you're really excited to play against or potentially beat?
Uh, I don't really have any rivalries with players. There's like some players that like kind of get on your nerves in pubs, so that's like a lot of people. Like sometimes people have good games and bad games, so it doesn't really matter. It's always fun playing against like the people you know, like playing against like BSJ, it's like fun, right? And like playing against like all the players on your friends. It's always fun to like see if you're beating them this game or like losing against them next game. So I think that's like it'll be cool to like play against all the people that I know from high MMR and like finally like get like stabilized teams for a couple months.
Yeah, it definitely creates an opportunity that hasn't been there before. So what about NADCL hypes you up? What do you think this league can create for you?
I think like I've talked to like some people, and I think like the one like good idea that I thought about this is like it first off gives you experience as a team because you got to play like instead of like having to worry about finding scrims every day and whatever, you'll have like guaranteed like officials every like week or so, like every time the games are played. So you have like a bunch of practice. Gives incentive for like teams to stay there, like I said earlier, and then I think the prize can be used like back towards the team. So like if you can win, maybe you can fund like a boot camp or
Yeah,
like
that's
fund
very
something
very
that you
similar
need
to
to do.
What Sammy Boy said.
Yeah. And because of that, then maybe you can do better and qualify for like bigger tournaments, like bigger than the league. It's like I think it's like a stepping stone for non-sponsored players mostly, which is like really exciting.
Yeah. So as far as this patch goes, what are your favorite heroes of this current patch?
I've been playing Ember like a lot in my games. I've been playing TA. I think those are like two really strong heroes. I think Ember is like much weaker, but I think he's like in the right hands. He can be really strong.
Yeah, and with the right teammates, for
Yeah.
sure. Okay, so if there was one player that you could guaranteed be on a team with for this league, who would that be?
And they have to be like eligible for the league,
Yeah,
right?
one other semi-professional player.
Um,
Even if you know it would never happen, who would you love to play with the most?
Probably some captain. Probably like maybe Ike Smike or Kitrek, because like a lot of like the teams, like one of the things that like a team needs is a good captain. So it's like you could have like really good cores, you could have like good supports, you could have a good offlaner, but like it doesn't really matter if you like have no captain who like leads the team to victory, because all of Dota is like based on like teamwork these days, right? Like a lot of players over years have like evolved, so it's like everyone's like very similar, like mechanically wise, right? Like there's some players that stand out, but like people can win the lanes. Like that years ago, like there was always like two players that won every lane, right? And now it's like a lot of teamwork, how fast you play. Drafting is like very important. Lanes, like all the stuff that like is mostly what a captain has to decide for his team is like extremely important to a team winning the game. So I think I'd like to have the opportunity to play with like a very good, like solid captain who understands the game on a team with me.
Yeah, I kind of think that's what a lot of the NA teams are lacking is like a solid, five captain. But there's definitely a few of them, a few gems out there, and
Yeah,
especially older guys that have a lot of experience that could
yeah, it's a
really
lot of
lead these
like
teams.
people who've played the game for longer, like uh, just like the game knowledge that they have, like playing on different teams, like watching a lot of Dota, like all this stuff is like helps them like think about the game like quicker because if you're like newer, you haven't played in many teams, you like don't have the same like understanding of how to play in a team setting. Because I think playing in a team setting is like very different than pubs from my experience because there's a lot more communication. Everything's much quicker. You can't like just do nothing for like 2 minutes and be happy about it usually. So the players who've like played on different teams have a lot more years of experience are like much better to have as a teammate than
Yeah,
like someone who could be like a higher MMR player.
it makes a lot of sense. So you just graduated high school, correct?
Yeah, I graduated.
So what are your plans? Are you planning to go to college, or are you taking some time off to really pursue this Dota 2 thing?
So I'm going to UConn, but I'm going like part time. So I'm taking like one online class and then one class a week. So I'm only gonna have to like, I know I'm commuting as well, so I'm only gonna have to drive like to school once a week. Um, and that's mostly so I like have options open because like if like everything goes completely wrong, I like lose everything, I become the worst player. At least I'll have like this other like option.
That's
And it's
smart.
kind of like
Yeah.
a plan, but like it won't really cut into my time because I've already been like so used to like spending 8 hours a day in school, another like hour or two of like homework or studying or whatever that like having only one class a week and like an online class should be a lot more like free time for me to focus on Dota. I can like stay up later. I don't have to wake up as early. It'll be like much easier on my schedule. Like scrims will be a lot easier to plan. I don't have to like plan scrims after like 3 p.m. every day, and I can't like go too late because I have to wake up at like 6 in the morning the next day.
So you're definitely one of the younger players I've interviewed so far.
Yeah.
What do your parents think about all this?
My parents are like very supportive of me. Like at the beginning, they were kind of like on the edge of whether it was like the right thing or not.
They didn't really
But I kept telling
understand.
them, yeah, they kind of understood. They like had seen the articles, but they didn't like believe in me that like or whatever, I guess.
They
But
thought you were
like
just like exaggerating.
yeah,
Yeah.
but like over time, like they started like watch like my mom watches some of the games I play sometimes. She doesn't like understand everything, but she's like very supportive of me. My dad's also very supportive of me. They like I remember like 2 years ago, like my dad was not like as supportive of me, and like he got mad at me because I was streaming at like 2 in the morning one time during the middle of summer, and he was like yelled at me to like turn my stream off or whatever. But now he like comes home and he's just like, oh whatever, this is what he's got to do to get better. So it's like it's
That's
very
awesome,
nice
man.
for them
Yeah,
to
that's got
support
to
me.
be relieving. Some
Yeah,
players don't even have that, you know. They haven't built up their parents don't understand the new demographic and the
yeah,
new society and how it actually works, and they have to deal with that as well. As long as I mean, they have to deal with that as well, along with all the other issues that come with being a semi-professional player.
yeah. Like I know like they've gotten like more like used to like how crazy like Dota can be kind of like for this open qualifiers. I wasn't planning on playing with like Kyle, Tomato, and Fear until like 14 hours
You were gonna
before
play
open
with the
qualifiers started.
veggie stack, right?
Yeah. And like at midnight, the night like 14 hours before qualifiers, Kyle contacted me and he's like, "You want to play offlane for the team?" And I was like, "I don't really play offlane, but I'll try. I'll do my best." Because he needed an English-speaking offlaner because their offlaner didn't speak English. So we booked a flight that day for in 6 hours, and in 6 hours on it was on a new team flying to Florida to play on their team.
Yeah, Dota
Uh,
can be pretty crazy.
so like, that's when like my mom kind of started realizing like that there's a lot of like stuff that you have to just kind of adapt to, like in game or out of game.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's really good to hear. You have two supportive parents of you, and you've kind of had to go through the trials and tribulations to build that
Yeah,
confidence for your parents that they have in you. So,
like the
congrats to
first
you
time
for
I knew
that.
my dad like completely like had like faith in me was like we drove like 3 hours to Canada to play in like a LAN with a team I was on. Like this was like 2 years ago, I think, or last. It might have been last January actually. And, like we just drove there and we just played in Canada. And after it, my dad like I remember like at the end of the tournament we were in the grand finals and like all the teams that got knocked out started like sitting behind the teams and like everyone started sitting around me because I was like the mid laner and it was like cool watching me. And when my dad saw like all the people behind me, he's like, wow, he's actually not that bad. He has all these people watching him. He's in like the grand finals. Like it wasn't like a huge tournament, but it was like it felt
Yeah,
cool.
no, that's still really cool, man. That's like a experience. That's just a really rare
Yeah.
experience, that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks for watching the interview, guys. This was like really cool. This was like my first interview. Um, so thanks to NADCL for the interview. Thanks for NADCL like more for like hosting this like league for semi-professionals. I think it's like really good experience for like me and all the players like in similar positions of me that aren't on sponsored teams and like doing the opportunity to like play in these like bigger tournaments. That it gives them something to like look forward to, look to creating teams, and it's like a really good experience I think for us as like whole players. And, shout out to all my viewers on my stream. It means a lot to me for like everyone who like watches me and like all the people who support me. It means a lot. Everything. So yeah, thanks everyone.